Keep this nice and low. How you doing? Feeling all right?
Can I jump in as well?
Okay. For the live stream,
you want to do workout?
No, I mean,
testing.
Commentary?
1, 2, 3.
Wait,
Hello, Social Fitness. Hello, Process Programming subscribers. Hello,
I think because it's a short
Process
workout, probably
affiliates.
better just one of us do.
Okay. You're doing a Monday, right?
Yeah, I still feel pretty shit. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. We're not organize it. No, I feel all right. Still pretty shit. You deliberately put us on one side?
like off to the side.
Yeah.
It's whatever you want. It doesn't matter as long as it just doesn't get like here, because that's where it gets really distorted.
Let's go, Luke. What are you thinking? Nice.
All right, let's do a quick video.
Nice. That's a good strategy. Be smart in the first bit, save it for the second.
No problem with me.
I would also say that. Yeah.
No problem. We're in. Yep.
Oh yeah, you just got to see how it feels in the second bit. Yeah, I would, because I just say that the if you end up sticking to unbroken and then throwing in 2-3 extra seconds in a transition, it's better to break it with a 2-3 second rest and then just take out, because you're going to keep your heart rate lower and you're going to do it at the same time, be able to pick up speed at the end. So yeah, I would say I'd actually lean towards starting that second piece with a break. And then if you can get to if you get into last couple rounds, then you can pick up and go unbroken. That's what I would say.
I'll do the delay is so short. It's like less than 5 seconds. Yeah, I just popped in right now.
He said he's going to try to keep up with you.
I heard that.
Yeah.
6-4 first bar. 4-3-3 on the first bars.
Good. I just use the loo, dropped off the kids at the pool. Now I feel cleansed. Oh, whoops. Hi guys, this is Chris from the Process Program. I just want to tell you that it's always everybody poops. I was a little nervous coming into here because I wasn't going to be sure if I was going to make it to the toilet on time, but here we are. Yeah, so don't feel bad about it.
My main thing though, I did half of both rounds.
If you are just joining us for the live stream, this is 24.3. If you haven't seen it yet, it's 5 rounds of 10 thrusters at 43 kg.
Breaking the thrusters,
10 chest to bar pull-ups, 1 minute rest, and then 5 rounds of 7 thrusters at 61 kg.
Everyone's going to get to the first
7 bar muscle ups,
at a
15-minute time cap. It's a pretty aggressively paced movement, workout. And we're going to see how these guys pace it. Are you going to break it up? Are you going to go unbroken? Are you going to go super hot in the beginning like I would and make that mistake? Or would you go slow? Would you go too slow? Let's find out how it happens here with our coaches Ant and Meg as they go head-to-head, the champions of 24.1 and 0.2 on this epic matchup for 24.3.
Right, I just need to
Is this live?
We are live. This is our director and head of programming for the process. Ed, what do you think about this workout to start off?
What do I think about the workout? I think it's a tough workout.
Right.
Whenever it's a couplet with gymnastics and weightlifting with a moderate heavy load, it looks easier on paper.
Yeah.
The thruster as well, such a big movement pattern.
For sure.
It's very fatiguing. And then you throw in that like a dynamic pulling movement where your body's moving between these two very hard positions of breathing.
Yeah.
Always essential. The second thing I would say is that it's whenever the complexity or the challenge increases in the workout, you got to just look at the first part as a bit of a booby trap.
As in, it's tempting to go fast.
It's tempting to go fast, but if you're most intermediate to advanced athletes going to get that second set of 5, right? Yeah. The heavier bar and the bar muscle ups. You don't get any extra points to get in there faster. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's the athlete who can handle that part of the workout the best is going to thrive the most in this workout. So basically, go slower than you think on that first part. Yep. And then push. Are you making that sound because you're thinking about your own strategy?
Yeah, that's my mantra. Because last week I kind of messed it up, like where I was hoping I was going to hit a 15-minute kind of pace in that first 15 minutes, and then 5 minutes in I was like, oh god, I can't really pull this back. I'm gonna have to commit and redline it. But with this one, the first thing is this is not a repeat workout. This is another new workout. What's your first impressions in having 3 unique workouts for this year's Open?
Well, we had it 2 years ago.
Right.
2 years ago, we didn't have a repeat. So I know That's out of the 4 years that we've had 3 open workouts. 4 years? 3 years. 4 years, I think now. We've had 2 years with repeats, 2 years without it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it's not always the same thing. When you have repeats, it's easier to guess and, like kind of prepare yourself for the workout. This means you've got to be ready for everything. But obviously, the biggest thing is that, like we saw 2 years ago, no heavy lift. So there is a bit of complexity for sure. Like, that still means that athletes are going to qualify to quarterfinals now, and HQ is still going to have not really going to know what a lot of those athletes can do because not much has been tested. We don't know about any pressing gymnastics, any handstands, higher skill movements like handstands.
I mean, this already make you thinking ahead of what quarterfinals could look like?
Well, based on what they've said, which is we want everyone who qualifies to quarterfinals to be able to do the workouts we prescribe. Based on the open test, that means the quarterfinal workouts will have to be light load aerobic based workouts, which I don't think is a good enough set of tests to qualify people for semifinals.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
So we'll have to wait and see.
That being said, the accuracy of your prediction, it's twist on.
Yeah, it was spot on.
Spot on. Spot on, buddy. This does remind me of the snatches and pull-ups and snatches and barbell slope with that rest in between.
Really?
Was that 3 years ago?
I don't think so.
Wait,
that was an ascending load that went heavy. This reminds me of the thrust to chest to bar workout.
Where it's like
thrust
3,
to chest to bar
6.
double under.
Oh.
The ascending load. The final went 43. Dude, can you help me out?
I got you, son.
We went 43, 52, 61. With increasing gymnastics capacity. I think it was open 2 years ago. This is a very similar workout to that final workout that had some double unders in there. Right. Yeah, also I'd say, last thing, that 1 minute rest.
It's not a rest.
Don't look at that rest and think, oh, I get a chance.
Would you stay on your feet or sit down? Like, how would you spend that minute?
Personally, I don't want to be at a point where I have to sit down when I finish the first few rounds. But we'll see.
Yeah.
If I pace it well, I shouldn't need to sit down. I should be able to stay on my feet.
Yeah.
If I pace it like an asshole, then I might have to sit down. But I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, this will be good to see. So we got Meg, we got Ant, we got our judges, we got our setup. Do remember that for these standards, you have to have something marking 5 feet between the bar bell and the pull-up bar for safety. So make sure you have tape or some kind of object like cones, as it says in the MUBIC standards. You do need to start under the pull-up bar before you go on. So don't start at your barbell. We've seen that little mistake, for example, in the open announcement from 24.1. So just make sure you read all the standards and everything, which we'll put out later today in our newsletter. But yeah, I think we're about ready to go. Here's Karan measuring out his 5 feet. We're getting ready to go, son. Oh yeah, so I'll keep it right here-ish. So we have 6 people in this? Who else is going? We got Ant, we got Meg. That's 3. Just 3? Okay, oh, right, the 2 barbells. I was trying to figure this out. So we're gonna go ahead and use preloaded barbells. That way we don't have to mess with the transition time. 1 minute is pretty tight to go between weight 1 and weight 2. So they're going with lighter barbell closer, and then you have your barbell further away.
Where would you like me to stand?
They said don't get in this area, so
don't get there.
Yeah, because in case the barbell rolls.
So I don't really need to be in screen, do I?
Yeah, we can kind of just we can't just look on and everything.
Yeah. I wanted people to hear me and Tammy's exchange.
Well, we love a good dance.
Are you commentating with me?
Oh, I don't know. Just have the mic on. Let's go!
Yeah.
All right, if you guys are just joining us in the live stream, we're going to start.
Hey, I didn't know you were doing it. Good to see you again. Good luck.
All right, we good? All right, who's got the timer? All right, guys, we're going to start. The clock in the back.
Watch the camera, Chris.
Ready. Shoulders ready. Stand by. 10 seconds.
And 24.3 big hits.
We are off. Okay, so let's have a look at breaking strategies here.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking to Ant about his strategy, I'm speaking to Meg about her strategy. Both of them are in the same opinion of break up and start. And this is kind of crazy for Ant. He never normally breaks stuff up. So I love that he's doing this. I think it's a very smart move.
Yep.
He likes thrusters, but relative to his field of competition, like higher rep squatting work is with the barbells.
We are talking about 85 thrusters in total. And one thing that I saw interesting about Meg's thrusters, they look like they're more controlled, especially on this eccentric. How would you say about going fast versus slow, employing those techniques in the middle of this long workout?
I think the difference is that Meg has really great shoulder mobility, and she's also a good squatter. So for her, she's being more efficient every rep that she does. So she's expending less energy than Ant does just because of her position. So she can actually rest over her head and feel like nothing's doing anything.
Yeah.
Whereas Ant's over her position, there's still going to be some tension, so it's not entirely a resting position. So I'm a bit more like an Ant. I'd rather get through my reps a bit faster and then get my rest as I drop the bar. Meg doesn't like breaking in, so she says some rest overhead and use that as a...
Right. So like hold overhead for like a second or two before you descend to the next.
Yeah. So what I would say with Meg is she's using a lot of upper body. She's not using too much lower body right now.
Yeah.
She's kind of doing a squat almost into like a half press. I would be tempted to use my legs a little bit more, really get the legs to the majority of that pushing.
And then save your arms for the pulls.
Save your arms for the pulls, exactly. And in fact, you're gripping the barbell anyway. There's still upper body's still working even when you use your legs. Talk about chest to bars real quick. Ant's been breaking 6 and 4 from the start.
Yeah.
People might say, why is he breaking? That seems unnecessary. You know, he can do over 50 on breaking chest to bars.
Right.
Again, it's about preservation. He wants to save his energy when he gets the bar muscle ups,
right,
so that he can, which is a strength of his, so he can really push that second part of the workout, which is going to be the separate.
When we talk about breaking strategies and what would be smart, is there like a kind of good guideline, for example, break when you have 3 reps in the tank, 4 reps in the tank, just go by feel on something like this?
Yeah, you definitely stay away from failure. Obviously, the earlier on you are in the workout, you break further away from failure. The further on the workout goes, you start to break a little closer to failure. But I would say if your goal is to get to the second part of this workout, and there's a likelihood that you're going to make some progress there, stay well away from failure. You want to finish this first 5 rounds feeling still pretty fresh.
Okay.
Because things are going to get a lot harder when that barbell gets heavier and the gymnastics get more.
I mean, just watching this makes me a little bit nervous about my own strategies. Now, one thing we got to say is Meg's been back to butterfly work recently. She was dealing with a shoulder injury, so this is a big win for her to be able to get through these reps pretty smooth. I mean, her gymnastics in the first place were strong, so it's good to see her recovery going well.
Yeah, she literally just got back to bar muscle ups, like literally this
week.
Geez, okay. Not even today. She hasn't been able to do it because of the shoulder injury after semifinals last year. So, I love that she's still doing this workout, still putting on a show. She's very well aware that she's not in peak pulling condition right now. But I mean, even better, that's always tough as an athlete when you're a bit broken or you're far off from your normal capacity. To then be able to adjust your strategy to suit where you're currently at.
Speaking of strategies, when we're talking about couplets, I mean, and so many different sets between both movements, we do have to talk about transitions. Now, they're both kind of walking at a pretty measured pace between the barbell and the pull-up bar. Anything that you can think about in terms of how you should approach those transitions?
And I think it depends, because if you go deeper into sets and thrusters and chest and bars, your rest is going to have to be longer. And the only problem with that is that every time you go deeper into a set of any movement, your fatigue levels are higher, and your rate of recovery gets longer.
Exactly.
So I'm always much more on the boat of break more often, keep your transitions shorter, but as a result, keep your heart rate lower. Whereas some people, like Ant traditionally, likes to go bigger sets, rest a bit more.
Yes.
But I know that he's now starting to see that that's not always the best strategy. So today, I mean, the way that he's doing this is a great testament to that.
So, I mean, it's great that we were talking about elite athletes, people going to the games, that they can still change up the way that they execute these workouts, right?
Yeah.
Of course, it's always great to see someone going unbroken, and that's impressive, but you can also play it smart, and that's impressive in its own way as well.
Yeah, so Ant finished the first piece at 4:45. He broke every movement to 6 and 4.
Yep.
So 1 minute rest now. That's going to leave him 9 minutes to finish the second part of his workout.
And like we were saying before the live stream, you don't want to be in that break having to take a seat, and Ant looks pretty well. He looks pretty good. Here comes Meg.
I'd say Meg is
finishing up
gone a little bit too hard. Only because I've seen her on her knees a few times already.
Yeah.
Not sure. We'll see what happens when he gets to the second part. But she's still looking smoother. Thrusters still sticking to a 6 and 4 strategy.
Did Ant explain how he's going to break up the heavier thrusters?
Yeah, he said he was going to go unbroken. I just put the idea to say, like, I don't think it's a bad idea to start with a break. And then as you get to the final couple rounds, you feel like you got more in the tank, then you can go unbroken then. So he's done that, which I'm glad he did.
Now, one thing that I always look at, because it's a problem that I have in my thrusters once I go in heavy volume and I'm fatigued, is my movement breakdown starts with my heels rising from the hold. And I'm seeing that a little bit with Ants. Do you have any tips for how we could kind of stave off any of those like compensatory patterns?
Yeah, well, I think the reason you do that is because you have a very knee dominant squat, right? You're very much upright torso, knees very far forward, lots of ankle dorsal flexion. Okay. And so when you're doing that, especially when you move fast, momentum can rock you forward, which is why that happens. So I think just making sure you're controlling the eccentric a bit more, particularly lowering the bar to your rack. Okay. Because a lot of people are trying to rush between lowering the bar and squatting. That's where we get pulled forward. So, you know, get it to a good rack position and control the squat.
Okay, so on these heavier thrusters, really consider being able to get in those positions a lot more than on the letter bar because the consequences are greater.
Yeah, exactly. You can afford to get away with suboptimal movement, the lighter bar, but you'll always get highlighted on the heavier bar.
And here we are, men. Remember, your judges can help you with your barbell as well as anyone else. Okay. No, we have not done it. Here we have Mems from CrossFit Fitness. Mems, can you tell us a little bit about what you think about the workout so far?
I think it looks horrendous. You're gonna have to save a ton of energy for the gymnastics part.
Mems here is a master's athlete just like myself and Ed. How would you break this workout yourself between the thrusters and the chest bars and the muscle ups?
First thrusters 6 and 4, and the second thrusters. If Ant is breaking them into 4 and 3, then you gotta consider breaking up into significantly smaller than he is to leave room for efficient muscle ups if you're good at them.
Yeah, so like we said, you can play this smart and play around with it. Go unbroken if you want, but I have this feeling that we're going to see people wanting to retest this come Monday based on how they strategize this today.
Yeah, potentially. I think it's going to be determined by how people's legs are feeling after this one, because it is pretty brutal. A lot of squatting contractions. We haven't squatted in 2 weeks of the Open so far, so people might be a little bit broken. But again, it depends on what's limiting people this workout. If people are being limited by the gymnastic skills, they might finish this workout and not be that tired, right? Because it's their skill and efficiency that's held them back. But if someone has good proficiency with gymnastics and the thruster, but they just pace it badly, well, then they could probably do the redo and maybe even go better.
Absolutely.
But I do think people are gonna go too fast in this workout. They're gonna finish that first piece fast and then be crippled on the second. So, and sticking to the strategy. He's at round 3 right now.
Meg here's on her muscle up, looking good, like you said.
Ant's rest is getting a little bit longer between his breaks. He's a very good bar muscle upper, so he's sticking to 4 and 3 right now, and he's looking good.
Now, I've seen different ways that you can kind of save some energy on your muscle ups. I'm seeing Ant descending straight from the top. Some athletes, they'll put their chest onto the bar before they completely descend. Any thoughts on those strategies?
Yeah, the thing is with press, bring yourself down into the bar, it's going to make it a lot harder to get into an efficient kick for your next rep. So you're also adding an eccentric in the dip, right? So you're adding more fatigue to your chest and triceps by doing that. And the chest, upper chest and triceps are doing a lot of work on the thruster. So really want to minimize that work as much as possible.
Got it.
So make sure you finish that bar muscle ups. You should break into 3 sets there. Handling this bar well.
Looks like, yep, and still going 4-3.
And still getting 4-3, yeah. So his rest is definitely getting a little longer now.
Yep.
For sure. I'm not saying that's a terrible thing.
Yeah, like should you allow for longer breaks, knowing that you don't want to fail any of these heavy thrusters or fail any of these bar muscle ups?
Personally, for me, I want to be getting faster as the workout goes on. Because if I'm getting to the point where my rests are getting longer and longer, I'm just getting more and more fatigued. And with high skill movements like bar muscle ups and heavy thruster, I don't want to have to do those reps when I'm mechanically fatigued and breaking down, right? So I would like to be able to pick up the pace in the last round and try push for something like a bigger unbroken set.
For the last round only. The first time we see some frill fatigue on Ant having his elbows on his knees, but I think he's going to make this set of 3 okay.
Yeah, he'll make it. Okay. So I think he's in his final round.
It might be, yeah. We are currently at 11:05 for those who can't see the timer in the back. The time cap is 15 minutes, so we have just less than 4 minutes to go until the time cap. So let's see if we're going unbroken here.
I think it was still great, based on what he looked like just then.
Oh!
Nice. So what I want to see now is he goes straight to the bar muscle up.
Basically, don't have the consequence of going unbroken by having a huge break.
Yeah, because you may as well not have gone unbroken.
Right.
So he did a quick chalk up. I think he's going to try and go unbroken here.
Looks like it. Looks like he's psyching himself up a little bit.
Someone needs to do that more.
Here we go. We're at 11:54. Just about to cross the 12-minute mark. Again, 15-minute time cap. All right, he's on his last bar muscle up, finishing at 12:10.
He looks like he faced that really, really well.
Yeah.
And he's even got probably a little bit more in the tank.
Meg is about to go back into her bar muscle ups.
Yeah, so Meg's hurt a bit here. And I think this just shows that maybe still went a bit too hard.
Yeah.
Maybe not, I don't know if it was at the start. I would say that at the start, maybe she just went a little too hot. But let's see, she's still moving the barbell really well.
Yeah.
Technique's not breaking.
The mechanics are great. Now, when we get into this pretty high level of fatigue, and we're doing something like gymnastics where the rate of error is higher under that much fatigue, are there any common movement patterns that you see where people fail because of fatigue, and any ways you can avoid that?
I think every movement, you have the potential of failing because of fatigue. It just depends on how highly developed your skill is, right? If you're high skill and efficiency on a bar muscle chest to bar, that's going to allow you to operate at higher levels of fatigue.
Yeah.
But we all know that when we get tired, everything gets hard.
Exactly.
Right? And so if that movement, you're someone who still has to really think about and focus on your technique, you're doing it, and it's not automated yet, then you're going to have to really keep that heart rate a little bit lower if you want to be successful.
So let's see how Meg does it. I mean, again, she's a good gymnastics technician already.
Yeah, the only thing with Meg, she's got great technique. Just because she's been injured for so long,
Right.
she just hasn't been able to build up the volume before this workout. So you can see her gymnastics still looks beautiful. It's really good. But yeah, her body is probably now saying to her, that's enough. Oh shit, we haven't done this in a long time.
There we go. Nice, Meg.
Meg always looks super stoked, even when she's dying. So if you're looking at her right now and thinking, Oh, she looks fine.
Yeah, I would definitely not be looking like that at 14, 17. All right, guys, we're about to wrap up the final minute. We're just about at 33 seconds left into this workout. Time cap 15 minutes. Let's see how far Meg can get before the time expires. There we go.
A little tickling happening now. Probably because Meg's pull is just a little bit tight.
Yeah.
That's also her shoulder that's been good. So they're probably just lacking a bit of strength.
Yeah. And I guess at this point, it's just fight for every rep, right?
Yeah, every rep you can.
Keep it going, Meg. Right on. Well done, Meg and Ant for 24.3.
Well done, Meg. And can I borrow you for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the first workout I think I've seen you in a long time really strategically break from the start. What was your plan going into it?
I mean, yeah, I was a bit nervous going into it. Actually, my bar muscles haven't been feeling very good recently in training. Ring muscles are really good, but I haven't put enough time into my bar. So this week when I did them, I felt a bit rusty. So it actually felt really good today. But going in, I was like, okay, first 5 rounds don't matter. Keep it slow, and then hopefully pick up the pace a little bit. Relative, obviously, a 61 kg thruster takes a second longer than a 43. A bar muscle takes a few seconds longer than a chest to bar. So although the rep scheme is shorter and there's less reps, you've actually got more time working in that second set of 5 rounds. And yeah, I wanted to kind of like pick it up towards the end, which I did a little bit, but I was definitely holding back. I was a bit scared. So I actually feel fine finishing. My arms a bit blown up, but thrusters actually were okay. Legs felt fine. So happy with how it went. Went 6-4 on both movements to start, and then 4-3, and then unbroken at the end.
Was there anything that caught you by surprise? Are you feeling a certain way right now that you didn't think you'd be feeling before this workout?
I feel better than I thought I'd feel, to be honest. I think a lot of people who are going to be feeling terrible are going to be like on the cusp of failing those bar muscle-ups, which I wasn't. So it just means I could have pushed more, have a bit more in the tank, but still fairly happy with how it went.
That's one piece of advice for people before they take on this workout.
If you can't look at Fran and think I can do that unbroken easily, you have zero business. Think about doing anything unbroken today or tomorrow, whenever you're attempting it. Break it up to start. If you plan on doing a bar muscle up because you can do them and you can handle a 61 kg bar in singles, then you got to be slow enough in the first 5 rounds to allow yourself to execute. Similarly, if you don't have a bar muscle up and you know you're just miles away from it, but you can chip away at single chest to bars, then break up your thrusters to allow you to be efficient on your chest to bars.
Nice, love it.
So break up early from the start.
Well done, Anne. Superb work. Keep CrossFit Open.
On to the next one.
We're going to go interview Megan McDermott. Hello, Meg.
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
Meg,
Yeah.
come in a little bit.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sweaty.
No problem at all.
Okay.
Meg, how are you feeling post-workout?
Really, really happy. Yeah. That
Please
felt really
elaborate.
good. Pardon, what did you say?
Please elaborate.
So you said, why are you happy? I haven't done muscle-ups in a while. Not under fatigue, especially, and not in those kind of volumes. So I was happy how I paced the beginning bit to get 21 in the end. Is a big win for me. So I'm happy.
Did you come into workouts like this with an expected score or outcome, or did you just go by feel?
So my expected result was not an outcome, but it was more that I had something in the tank so that I could have a result that represented my current fitness level. So I'm really happy how I paced it, so that it was an actual representation of where I'm at, not something that, like, if I went out too hot and only got like 3 muscle ups, that wouldn't be a good representation of all my hard work. So I'm happy.
Meg, if you had one piece of advice for people before they do this workout, what would it be?
Go a little bit slower than what you think. I was initially going to do my first set of thrusters, like the first bar unbroken, and then pace the chest to bars. but my heart rate was already high, even though I broke up the first bar. So yeah, go slower than what you think, because the end feels way worse than what you think it's going to feel.
Meg,
Yeah.
fantastic work.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Okay, team, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you tuned in last week, I hope you guys have been enjoying this live broadcast of our coaches going head-to-head. We've had an absolute blast this CrossFit Open, and we have the quarterfinals coming up soon, where we're going to deliver more of the same. Thanks, team.
Like that. So you're going to face opposite way through it.